If you are over 40 and still want to train really, really hard, specifically for climbing, your training cannot look like it did when you were 28, or if you weren't climbing back then, it can't look like a 28-year-old's today. Performance is still so possible as we age, but our strategies have to change. So keep listening. I'm going to give you some real practical tips and tricks on how we should be training now in midlife for climbing. I am 52 years old and I climb right around 512, and I've sent some V6 boulders, so I'm not an elite climber, but I have been climbing a long time, and I am finding at 52 years old, I'm climbing stronger and harder than I ever have been. So I know that it is absolutely possible. And it's kind of what this channel is all about. I'm hoping to maybe build a community of other midlife climbers who are really psyched on climbing and just get super nuanced with training. One that I am really, really bad at, but I'm getting better and better at. And the better I get at focusing on recovery, the stronger my climbing is getting. So it's a real interesting thing to go through to do the thing that I know is true, but have had a hard time doing. I like to just go, 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 but I'm learning how to use recovery as a performance tool. And, I think it's really important to remember recovery drives adaptation. And that's really what we're looking for. We need that adaptation in order to get stronger and climb harder and do all the things we want to do into midlife. And so, really understanding that recovery drives that adaptation and taking that in, I think, is a really important thing. Also, remembering that our tendons adapt a lot slower. So, because they adapt slower, we do need to give them more time to recover and to help them get into a space where they have the time to repair after we've been pretty hard on them. Another big one for me was really learning to reduce junk volume. It might be an example of, I'm in the gym training and I've got this really specified training protocol that I'm working on. And then, it only took me 45 minutes or an hour. And I would prefer to train for an hour and a half, or I've got this extra hour to burn. So just let me like mess around on trying some more climbs. But really it's learning to stop when a really good work has been put in and not just creating junk mileage because we're bored or feel like I have to do more. I have to do more. And then taking intentional rest days. I've had a really hard time with this. I like to be going, I like to be doing. This gets into perfectionism and this feeling that I have to perform. And so I have to get better. And so I should be doing these things. And I'm really working on anytime those shoulds come up to really look at what am I saying I should. And in therapy, they call it shoulding on yourself. So anytime that word should comes up, I think it's important to look at what we are thinking in our brains and pick that apart a little bit and maybe really try to challenge that I should be doing this thing. Because when we're saying I should be going, I should be doing this thing, it's harder to take those intentional rest days. But the intentional rest days are really, really important to recover. It's really about finding quality workouts and not quantity. I used to always be focused on quantity, but we want to focus on the quality of our workouts. Okay, second really practical thing for us as middle-aged climbers is going to be strength training. I believe it is just absolutely required at this point. So if you are not strength training, this is something that could really, really improve your performance over time. If you're watching this, you're probably someone who's sort of in the know about strength training. It's all up, right. Everyone's talking about it. It's really important. Yeah, it's really important for us as middle-aged climbers. It's really, really important because really what it does, it's not about getting us stronger for actual moves in climbing. It's about building a robust body into midlife. That's how I see it. Strength training is not even necessarily about getting stronger in your deadlift or stronger in the lifts that you're doing. It is about building a robust body that can withstand the training that we're doing for climbing. So if I'm ever working with anyone on this, I'm usually recommending at least twice a week strength training. This gets into a balance too of how much you're climbing. So if you're on season and you're climbing outside all the time and you're kind of wrecked, you don't want to do, like 3 to 4 strength training sessions in a week. But if you're off season, that's the time you could maybe up it to maybe even 3 to 4 sessions. But I think that sweet spot is 2 sessions a week of just some general strength training. You can get more specific, but you don't have to. But maintaining twice a week can really help us just stay robust in our bodies so that we can handle the climbing that we want to do into old age. I think too, another point about this is to think about muscle declines as we age, but we now know it doesn't have to. I mean, there's such cool studies out there right now. I think one was even with some 80-year-olds where they actually were able to gain muscle mass, but you got to be intentional about it. So as we age, we don't have to lose it, but you have to be intentional with it. And that strength training is going to really, really help with that. Okay, this is the last one. Thanks for sticking with me so far. And this is identity. And this is one I don't really hear anyone talk about, but I think it's such an important one. If you believe you are declining, then you're going to decline. And we know that what we think about something will typically be then how we're responding to the world, how we're filtering things within the world, and we kind of create our own experience. And so you want to think about as you are aging that you are adapting. You are adapting, you are not declining. And understanding that strategy plus consistency can really, truly make you better, make you climb even harder grades as you age. It's absolutely possible, but I know that if you have this identity about aging, that it's decline, that it's bad, that I'm just going to accept that I'm going to climb worse and less, then you will. So you really have to start practicing a new identity. I'm adapting. I'm getting better. I'm climbing stronger. Like you really have to start adapting that identity. And you can do some of that identity work through journaling. There's different ways to kind of try to retrain the brain and your thoughts around it, but it's really important. Appreciate you listening. I hope you like the video. I'd really love for you to subscribe and like the video. If you subscribe, that helps the algorithm so other people can find this and we can kind of create this bigger community of midlife climbers where we can share things. And I just really would like to create a community where all of us can kind of talk to each other and share different things, geek out on climbing, basically, in midlife. If you have maybe a tip or trick that's worked for you in midlife, put it in the comments. Just leave a comment so we can all kind of take a peek at it and share some of those things. And the other thing I'd love to hear about is what do you think's your biggest limiter right now in midlife as a climber? What do you think is holding you back the most? If you could put that in the comments, that'd be great too, because that'll give me some video ideas to go off of. So subscribe, like, drop a comment. I guess that's what you're supposed to ask for in YouTube. That's what I've been told anyway. Okay, see you in the next video.